So she's going to try and pop in, but she said she may or may not. I talked to her this morning, so she's going to try.
Okay, Susan, just set up 5 breakout rooms then, because
All right.
that's what we
That,
got.
that's
And you'll
what we
have
got.
to be a facilitator too, please.
Okay.
All right.
And I'll see Allison should be coming in anytime. So, all right. I'm going to admit everybody. Are we good?
Mhm.
All right.
All right. Good morning. It's good to see folks out there virtually. Thank you all for taking time to join us. This meeting is being recorded, so I just wanted to let you know that at the start. And we're excited to spend some time with you and share a little bit about the Business Management Institute that's coming up. So I'm Joyce Lopes. I'm the Vice President for Business and Finance at Western Washington University. And I will kind of be facilitating this. And we've got some past participants. We've got some track leads here. And we've got, I think, a number of faculty that will be teaching on the call too. So what we have planned to go over today was to hear from past participants and from the track leads, just some things about BMI. What are some key takeaways and what are some advice for participants? I know that there are participants on here for track 1, 2, and 3. So some of you've probably attended this orientation previously. You've been to Santa Barbara. You know all the best places to hang out and eat. And all of those things. So some of this may be a repeat, but we appreciate you being on because when we do breakout rooms, you'll have great information to share with some of our track 1 participants. So after we hear from the past participants and the track leads, then we'll do breakout rooms. And we're going to do a couple rounds of those so you get to meet some different folks, and that'll give you some opportunity to see some of the folks that'll be there in a couple of weeks. So let me just ask for folks out there, if you could raise your hand if you're going to be a faculty member at this upcoming BMI. So I see Missy, I see Lexi, I got a lot of Nikita, Leslie. Okay, and I've got something in the chat. All right, if those of you who are going to be faculty could just unmute, introduce yourself, let us know your name, what you're going to teach. We'll do that first, and then we'll introduce the past participants and the team leads. And just whoever's willing to go first, and then popcorn it to somebody else.
So I'll go first.
Go. Thank you, Missy.
Yeah, no problem. Hi, everyone. Missy Jarnigan or Melissa Jarnigan. I am the Vice President and Chief Financial Officer at CSU Monterey Bay. I had track 2. I'm working in track 2 this year. And I have been through the entire program way back in like the 90s. So excited to be back. Always loved spending time at BMI and at Santa Barbara, which used to be my previous campus. So I don't know who else raised their hand, and now all the hands are gone. So if somebody else wants to go next.
Kita.
I'll jump in. Good morning, good afternoon, depending on where you are. I'm in Arizona, so it's still morning. My name is Nikita Saxon, and I am the Director for Culture and Inclusion within Human Resources here. And so I am returning faculty. So last year was my first time in Santa Barbara for BMI. Amazing experience, and so excited to be back. And so I am facilitating 2 sessions, one around collaborating and influencing across teams. And then the second is around foundations of leadership versus management. So looking forward to seeing you all and engaging in just a few weeks.
Fantastic.
And I also don't remember who else was on.
Well, I see Lexi. You're teaching.
For sure. I am more than happy to go next. So my name is Lexi Richards Peterson. I'm from Utah State University. Will be my first ever Wakubo conference, and I'm super excited. At USU, I work in human resources in organizational development and training as a specialist. I will be presenting on from snooze fest to standing ovation, so some presentation skill sets, how to prep for that sort of thing. And then I'll be co-presenting another session, which I will actually tee up with my co-presenter, Leslie, to talk a little bit about that session.
All right.
Hi, everybody. I'm Leslie. I work with Lexi at Utah State University. I am the Organizational Development and Training Manager of our group here within the HR umbrella. I'm going to be presenting on the DISC profile assessment, which is used to help effective communication. I am really excited about that session. It's one of the courses that we offer that most people, it's probably one of the most popular courses that we offer at all, period, in all of our leadership development courses that we offer. And it's one that people want to do again and again and again. And it's really great. So excited to learn with you all here. This is also going to be my first BMI conference that I attend.
Well, that's exciting. And I saw Stephanie. I know you're going to be a faculty member.
Yeah, hi everybody. I'm Stephanie Lonkenig, and I am at the University of Denver. I'm an assistant professor in the Business Information and Analytics Department, and I've done various presentations with WCUPO, and they've been a ton of fun. And my first BMI was last year. Excuse me. So I'm very excited to be coming back to sunny Santa Barbara. I'm going to be presenting on AI and leadership, and so I'll be in the elective and track 3 routes. The first session that I'm going to do is going to be on judgment, risk, and decision making with AI. And then the second one will be process design and institutional capacity with respect to AI. Both are non-technical. They're pretty high level so that you can learn, again, practically how to approach using AI in your day-to-day. So I'm excited to meet everybody and be back.
Well, do we have other faculty member? I didn't see others, but there's a lot of folks on here, 67. Did we miss any?
I can introduce myself. That's okay.
Oh, yes, thank you.
Thank you. Hi, everybody. My name is Sarem. I am the Manager of Communication and Training at Chapman University IT. I had the pleasure of attending WCUPO in Colorado Springs a few years ago, and this is my first BMI. And this is my first time also being an instructor at BMI. I'll be doing 3 sessions this year. Session 1 will be Microsoft Copilot for Web. Session 2 is Introduction to Generative AI. And session 3 will be Art of Prompt Generation. 2 sessions on Monday and 1 on Tuesday.
That's amazing. Are there any other faculty that we've missed? Okay, I am really excited for all these sessions. I wish I was not a track lead so I could come attend all of your sessions because these all sound amazing. And hopefully all of you as participants are getting excited about what you'll be hearing from these folks. So let me do a few more introductions real quickly. We do have Jeanette Perez on the call, and Jeanette is one of the volunteers who helps put BMI together, and obviously has been working very hard given this amazing lineup we've already heard about. So if you want to say a few words, Jeanette.
Yes. Hi, everyone. I am Jeanette Perez. As Joyce mentioned, I work here at the Arizona State University, and I have been a volunteer with WCUPO for about 13 years, maybe a little bit more. My math may be off. I have worked in the development workshop committee, and this is my 3rd year chairing or co-chairing with Betsy, who is unable to join today, BMI. So we're really excited for this lineup. One of the things that we have been really focusing on is trying to get a variety of instructors, a variety of topics for everyone. The last couple of years, we have been really trying to get a lot of AI just because it is such an up and coming, important part of our day-to-day lives now. So we really want to get everybody trained and actually understand the importance and how exciting AI is in our lives right now. So I am excited that you will all be joining. I hope that you are all looking forward to attending BMI. For those that haven't been to Santa Barbara, it's a beautiful place. The campus is, as Joyce, I believe maybe we'll touch on, there are some places that are a bit of a walk to get to, but luckily the weather is gorgeous. View of the ocean. So I'm excited to meet you all.
Thank you, Jeanette. And then we also have some folks here from Ethereum, which is the management company that helps WCUPO manage our various events. So Allison Hammer, if you can introduce yourself.
Sure. So I'm Allison Hammer. I'm the executive director for Wakubo. I've been with you for 2 years now, so this will be my second BMI. I'm thrilled to be joining you again. And I'm also really excited to say we have paired our board meeting with this event. So you will have a chance to meet all of your wonderful Wakubo board members as well, which is just a great opportunity to meet your leadership, get to know the board. And we have so many board members who have been through this program. So, there's a lot of success in it. So we're very excited to have you, and I'm excited to see you in California.
Thank you. And then Susan Jenkins is also joining us from.
Hi, I'm Susan Jenkins. I'm the association manager. Thank you all so much for joining today. And I know it's going to be just a terrific event.
All right. And then I'm going to turn it over to one of our past participants, Teresa. I'll let you go ahead and introduce yourself and then pop it over to Bobby. And thank you for being here and talking with this group about what we should be trying to get out of our next BMI.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. So hi, everyone. Welcome to all the BMI participants. My name is Teresa Costantinidis, and I serve as the Executive Vice President for Finance and Administration at the University of New Mexico. But today I'm here as someone who sat where you all once are at the beginning of my own career journey, but also being involved in Wakubo's Business Management Institute. So I started my career back in UC Berkeley in 1986, which those of you who are math savvy would quickly add up 40 years ago. I attended my first BMI in 1988, and I was absolutely hooked, and I kept coming back. I did take a brief stint to have a baby, but I proudly made it all the way through and graduated in 1992. I have had a great career, and part of it has been through the activities at Wakubo. About 15 years ago, I began volunteering, and with Wakubo, I served as the conference and host committee chairs, and eventually as the Wakubo president in 2019-20. My most recent volunteer effort was to help select Salt Lake City for the site of the 2027 annual conference. Wakubo, as an organization, has two important missions. One, it's about outstanding professional development. So it's learning important things to help you with your careers. And the second part is promoting meaningful networking. Now, BMI delivers both of these things. And I really encourage you as participants in Wakubo BMI to fully engage in each of those things. Now, on the learning side, even after all of these years, I clearly remember things that I learned at BMI. BMI was where I first explored areas of higher education that were outside of the area of budgeting that I started in. I was a budget assistant when I started. I learned about human resources, leadership, information technology, accounting, and audit. I never even heard of audit when I first started. I was amazed at the time by the quality of the instructors, and you will be equally impressed, I know, but also the breadth of what they taught us. I learned for the first time, for example, what an endowment was. And in fact, I had my first understanding of fund accounting. What did that mean? And I mentioned leadership. I wasn't sure I needed to know this stuff, but I do remember being impressed by some of the leadership training. And one example was a president of Charleston Southern University, Jerry Hunter, taught us about when you are presidents of universities. And remember, I just gotten into higher education, but I listened. And I remember him teaching us about teamwork and integrity and the responsibilities of leaders for the organization. He conveyed to us that he believed we needed those lessons someday. And it turns out that he was right. More than 20 years later, I was sharing one of the lessons I learned at BMI with him with one of my direct reports. And I remember saying, this is something I learned at the Wakubo BMI, and passed that along to this leader. BMI, it didn't just teach me about important things. It also helped connect me with people that would be part of my experience for the rest of my life. I have some lifelong friends that I met originally in Santa Barbara. In fact, one of them visited me just last year here in Albuquerque. She was attending a conference and she looked me up. So similarly, I ran into President Hunter not that many years ago, I was at a Sakubo, Southern version of the Wakubo Nakubo organization in Florida. So I walked up to him and I introduced myself and I thanked him for the difference he'd made in my life and my career decades earlier. I know that moment meant a lot to him, and it definitely meant a lot to me to be able to look back and say, wow, this is something I learned at BMI that helped me be successful. So anyway, this is kind of long-winded way of saying, here's what I wish for you. I hope that you learn something at BMI that stays with you for the rest of your career, and I'm rather confident that you will. And I hope that you meet colleagues, that you proactively reach out to colleagues because they can become your lifelong friends. And someday I hope you come back and share what you learned at BMI with others. Paying it forward is really a meaningful thing to do. So welcome to all of you, and please, please enjoy your BMI journey.
Thank you, Teresa. And then we are also going to hear from past participant Bobby.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Bobby Quinones, and I am the Associate Director for Academic Personnel and Faculty Programs at Cal State Monterey Bay. I began, well, let's see, I started with the Track 1 cohort in 2019, and it was really my first true professional development experience. I'd been to other conferences that were mostly trainings, but the slate of topics that are covered at Wakubo encompass such a broad spectrum that there's so much usable information, and I always found that the faculty of those were just so willing to share their insights and knowledge. But one of the important things that I really learned from my experiences was the importance of networking with different folks from, so I'm in the California State University system, which is a very large public entity, but being able to connect with folks from much smaller institutions, private or state, and really learn that, you know, some of the best practices that can be shared between, you know, different campus sizes, learning, you know, different economies of scale for how things can be operationally very similar at different institutions, and also learning, you know, understanding the differences for why some, you know, systems are set up the way they are. But a lot of it, I leaned into the networking side of things, because starting in 2019, year 2 was 2020, which many of us were locked away at home working remote. So that networking community was really important, because that's where it really solidified those best practices and things, learning from other folks, because here we were all in higher ed in, you know, experiencing this COVID pandemic, and hearing from other higher ed professionals throughout the country of how they were being impacted. I mean, we were learning in real time of how some campuses were doing major budget cuts, how different campuses were navigating operations with all the pandemic restrictions. And it was also great just to have a space to connect and realize, like, oh, we're in this together. And while that was a very specific point in time, by the time I was able to come back for when BMI was offered in person again in 2022, was great to reconnect with folks in person and, you know, kind of finalize that part of our journey. And that professional development piece that BMI provided along the way really provided the stepping stone and kind of the spark for me to then proceed into an MBA program, which I started that subsequent fall. So it was great to have the experience of the professional development through BMI and learn and reflect, you know, okay, an MBA is really the next point in my career to really help me launch, you know, further in a professional trajectory. I was an analyst for College of Science at the time, which was in our institution a very, very large and active entity. And it was the MBA program that, you know, attendance in BMI and participating, engaging in BMI really provided that excitement to go into a master's program. So every year I'm excited to welcome new participants and really encourage you to network as much as possible. Not just, the professional nuts and bolts, but really learning how folks do things at other institutions, because that's, I think, where a lot of the fun and the magic happens, where you can really gain and learn from others' insights. And then in my first year, actually showing how small of a world it is, Melissa Jarnigan was actually one of the faculty facilitators and is now here at our campus as the VP of Administration and Finance and CFO. So you can make these connections that really do last throughout your professional trajectory. So it's a great community to be involved in, and I welcome you all and hope you have as memorable an experience as me and Teresa have. Thank you.
Thank you, Bobby. And now we're going to hear from our track 2 lead, Yolanda.
Well, Missy had her thumb up, but was that okay?
She was just saying woo woo.
Okay, my name is Yolanda Angelin, and I've been associated with Wakubo for quite a while now, but my background is in finance and budgeting. I actually am retired at this point. I retired from California State University, Monterey Bay. I guess you can say I'm a CSUer since I spent over 17 years at San Diego State University as well in various leadership roles. So it's funny because I retired from Cal State Monterey Bay, but ironically, that was where my higher education journey started, way back when the campus first opened in '95. And I think I started my Wakubo experience by the time I got to San Diego State in 2000. And so I like you all, went through all the tracks as well. And that happened over several years with budgetary cuts and all that kind of stuff. But I made it through the program, and the common theme that you keep hearing is that you network and you meet contacts and folks that you continue to have those contacts throughout your career. And even after your career is over, now that I'm retired, I'm still active in Wakubo. And some of those have been lifelong friendships as well. So I met Missy way back when, right? So here we are. And I think I think you were facilitating when you were the track leader when I just had moved through track 2. So at any rate, it is a great thing to be part of this program. And I've been volunteering, I would say, for about 10 years now. I started with the annual conference and then have moved on to the Business Management Institute. Just in the last 4 years, I've been a facilitator in that institute, and now I'm the track lead for the case studies section. I just want to mention my co-facilitators, because what we have is we have 2 teams, and then we have co-facilitators for each team. And you're getting the benefit of a lot of years of experience, a lot of different various backgrounds. And I think there's great benefit in having the 2 facilitators in each kind of cohort or team as well, because you're able to draw from different people, different backgrounds, and they have a lot of resources to give you and to help you move through the program. I know there's sometimes some mystery around track 2, and folks are a little bit standoffish when it comes to case study homework, and it's not scary. It really isn't scary. You gain some great contacts from doing this particular section. So, I mean, that's what we're doing. We're taking real life case studies, and we're having conversation and discussion and brainstorming recommendations and different perspectives on how to deal with your specific situations at your institution that you're dealing with in particular. It's actually, I'm trying to think of, I was a little afraid too when I entered track 2 as a participant, but I walked away with, wow, that was the best session ever, because it's so interactive and you get to be a part. So I'm looking forward to welcoming everyone to the track 2 session who's in our sessions together. I also wanted to just say, we have the networking session on Monday night, but we don't really start our time together until Tuesday, and then we spend a lot of time together. So hopefully, if I had to say what was most impactful for me when I attended the program, it would absolutely have to be, well, hands down, two things: the networking piece and everyone you meet and all the resources you gain from those individuals, but also the career coaching. I mean, at the time when I attended, the career coaching was not um, it was not part of the program, but there were a couple retired CFOs that just kind of donated their time during their lunch hour and said, "Hey, if you want to meet with me, I'll look over your resume," and that kind of thing. And so I'm glad they've instituted that to be a real part. And I would say really take advantage of the career coaching as well. There were things that those ladies pointed out in my resume, or just having a conversation with me at lunch, that maybe I might try to do, that I actually went back and did, and it made a huge impact. So I would say make sure you take advantage of all that BMI has to offer. And those are my kind of two standouts. And as far as what you might do to get the most out of the program, I would say participate, participate, participate. Also interact, don't meet a stranger, and connect with your resources. I mean, get each other's information, get on their LinkedIn pages. I mean, and stay connected. It will help you as you go forward in your career. And my
Thank you.
view is that you walk away with resources and contacts, and that you tell others and bring others to the next year, right? So anyway, welcome to Wakubo. We're glad to see you all here. Can't wait to get to Santa Barbara and meet you all.
Thank you, Yolanda. And our track 3 lead, Angela Song, was not able to attend today, but she did send a few tips as well as some thoughts. So I'm going to just read what she sent. And she is at UC San Diego. So she wants to let any track 3 attendees know that this is meant to build track 3 to build a solid foundation in strategic planning. Whether you're completely new to strategic planning or you have years of experience, come ready to jump in, enjoy the activities. You'll come away with new ideas, some good refreshers, and she's also going to come prepare with candy to encourage cheerful participation. Some tips that she wants to make sure all track 3 participants keep in mind is please bring your laptops, because you'll be doing hands-on team-based activities throughout the 2 days you'll work together. You're going to be working in teams, and you're going to give a short 15-minute presentation at the end of session 5. You can either create your own PowerPoint, or she'll bring templates that you can provide. And in prior years, teams used AI tools to help organize their ideas and build their presentations, and she thinks that's perfectly fine. She encourages that if that's something you're comfortable in wanting to do. And most importantly, she wants the track 3 folks to know she is so excited to be back this year. She had a wonderful experience last year at BMI. She's looking forward to meeting each of you, and she hopes you're all going to come ready to be curious, to connect with each other, and to share your own experiences. So there's a few words from Angela. We'll see her in a couple of weeks. And then I'm the track 1 lead. So for any of you on here that are track 1, this is probably your first year with BMI. I think you've gotten a lot of good advice already. But we will break out into breakout rooms. You can ask more questions. But I first went to BMI in 1996. I can remember that because I was pregnant with my daughter at the time. So I know when her birthday is. So I know, like Teresa was saying it, and went through all of the sessions. I started when I started there, I was working at Colorado College. I'll answer the question in the chat in a moment. Thanks. I was working at Colorado College as an assistant controller, kind of a baby, to the industry. And I agree with what Teresa said. There was so much I learned in coming to each year of BMI that has helped me along my career path with higher education. I got exposure to human resources, to risk management, but just also to how the academy side of higher education works, and how how to better interact with faculty chairs, with academic departments, with understanding what they're juggling and trying to manage, and to be more thoughtful about how to work in those spaces. And it gave me great opportunity to network and to meet people who knew so much more than I did and could help me figure out how to move along my career journey. I too have been volunteering with Wakubo for 15 years. I think I've been involved in BMI since before the pandemic, I think since about 2016, so about 10 years, taught several classes and have been track 2 lead and track 1 lead. And I think it is an amazing experience, and I'm so excited for all of you who are going to be attending. So the question we had in the chat was, do track 1 members or participants need to bring your laptops? You do not need to bring your laptops for track 1. There won't be any requirement for that. You're welcome to bring your laptops. And when you're attending the sessions, any of the sessions, please participate, because that's how you're going to get the most out of it. So, we try not to have our laptops open. We all know we've got busy jobs and lots happening, and every day at a university is a new and exciting problem to solve. So if there's things you got to do, that's fine. But just step out, do that, and come back. My other tips for you is bring your walking shoes. As Jeanette said, the campus is spread out. It's beautiful. The weather is usually gorgeous. There's lovely nature and things to see, but bring your walking shoes because you're going to put in all your steps. Bring your business cards or your phone to share, and share with others so that you start to build that network, because being able to reach out to somebody else when you have that problem you're dealing with is really useful. And finally, get outside of your comfort zone. I know for many of us that's hard, right? I'm an introvert by nature. It's not my first thought to go introduce myself and join in a conversation, but it's going to be so meaningful to you to meet people you don't know, get outside of your comfort zone, raise your hand and ask that question that's on your mind, because if you are thinking it, somebody else probably is too. Okay, well, with that, we are going to start with the first breakout group, and we've got facilitators who either are team track leads or faculty that will facilitate each working group. You'll be moved, or in each breakout room, you'll be moved into the breakout room. We'll have about 15 minutes. There'll be some questions to try to answer and think about. You can ask any questions that you have there, and then we'll come back together, do a quick debrief, and then we'll do another breakout room. So Susan, if you could toss us into our breakout rooms.
Absolutely. Although, Joyce, maybe it might make sense to front load some of those questions so that everyone can start thinking about them. Do you want to share those with the group before we pop over into those breakout rooms?
Yeah, we just have 2 questions. One is, what is it that you enjoy most about your current work? And the second one is, what was your #1 reason for attending BMI? Whether this is your first year or your second year or your third year.
That's great. All right, everybody put on those thinking caps, and I'm going to open all the rooms. You should get a message. Although this is not my first rodeo, sometimes there's technical glitches, so bear with me.
All right, welcome back. I think we're got most of the folks back. I thought we'd just take a moment, and for the facilitators to, maybe you could just share some comments or some particularly salient points of some of the discussion in your breakout room, and then we'll do another round of breakouts. I wanted to share that, one of the perspectives was this just gives us an opportunity to step away from work and in that space be able to think differently about how we engage with people we work with, where we're headed on our career trajectory. It just lets us kind of be in a different frame of mind. I thought that was really a salient point.
I love that, Joyce. And the one thing that I'll add from the group that I was in, and I heard this a couple of times, was, we all don't have time to do a lot of things, but we definitely need to find time to do professional development. And we need to invest in that time in ourselves. And so it's not a matter of finding the time. It's a matter of, if we don't find the time, what are we missing out on? So I thought that was really insightful and really good, and heard a couple of different times. So.
Mm-hmm.
And I would say some of the resounding themes in our group was how flexible higher ed can be, the work-life balance. That said, it can be a lot of stuff, and it's different things all the time, enjoying the difference and the varying problems and that kind of thing, and an opportunity to network and to learn more about higher ed. We have a few people where it's their first time to attend, so they're very excited. And so I'm very excited they're here.
Yeah. Absolutely. Let's see who or our other Bobby. Was there anything from your breakout that was? You're muted there.
One of the things that I noticed was just the spectrum of tracks folks are going into and the different roles we have within higher ed. So it was great just to hear how some folks are coming back into maybe tracks that are out of sync with the new 1, 2, 3 series, but still really happy to hear that some folks are coming back after a multi-year hiatus. So it's great that folks come back to finish, because it's a great experience, and I think that speaks to it.
Yeah, for sure.
Hello, Joyce.
Yeah,
Yep.
hi. Oh, there we go, Allison.
Yeah, so a lot of the people within my group were track 1, so super excited to welcome you for the first time. And they were all highly recommended by someone on their team. So that was a great theme that within their departments, whether it was their supervisors, colleagues, someone they knew went through this program and found so much value in it. So we're really excited that you're joining us through the program. And then I also mentioned, this is a surfer-friendly school, so there are racks for surfboards. So if you want to bring your surfboard, it's right outside the classroom. So we also went over that as well.
Yes, it is a surfer-friendly school, absolutely. So indeed, that would be a lot of fun. We were going to do another breakout. We're going to do that, but I did put my email in the chat. So if you have other questions, I apologize if there's a lot of background noise on my end. If you do have any other questions about BMI, feel free to email me. I'm happy to get back to you with that. And if there's a question that doesn't get answered in your last breakout or the next breakout, again, just email, let me know. And then Yolanda's also put her chat in the chat, her email. So if you have any track 2 questions, feel free to email Yolanda. I know there were a couple of questions about if I'm track 1 or if I'm track 2, do I have to bring my laptop? You don't, either of those tracks have to bring a laptop. You're welcome to bring your laptop. It's up to you. But track 3, Angela would like you to bring your laptops. Okay, well, let's do another round of breakouts. And besides the questions we asked the first time, let's be ready to ask any other questions we might have about BMI.
All right, I'm going to go ahead and get y'all in your various places. So give me 1 second as I make sure things are good to go. Yep, looks like it is. Okay, I'll set a timer for another 15, Joyce. Is that correct?
That sounds good.
Okay, I'll just give a shout out on the and set the timer for a little less, maybe 30 seconds to close it.
Thank
okay.
you.
Bye.
I'm gonna, I think that's about it. I'm gonna put my email in the chat again. So again, if anybody has any questions between now and when we see you in Santa Barbara, feel free to email. And Bryce reminded me there was a couple things I need to announce. So this is our 70th year anniversary of BMI. I don't know that we have anybody here that was here 70 years ago, but we do have people here that were here 30 and 40 years ago. So it's been going on a long time. It's helped to educate a lot of us and move us along our career trajectories so that we can help support students, which is just amazing work that we do. And the other reminder is the last night there's a dinner, a fiesta, and bring a t-shirt from your university, and we're going to exchange them with others and get a t-shirt from somebody else's university. And if you're thinking about, well, gosh, do I want a t-shirt from somebody else's university? Let me just share one exciting tip or point. We have participants from Alaska to Texas, and we even have somebody joining us from Georgia. So yes, you are going to find there is a university there that you will covet their t-shirt. So bring one of your own, and any size is fine. There's people of all sizes, and we'll do an exchange on that last day. So,
and Joyce, there was a quick question about the dress code for the conference on the topic of t-shirts. Just in general, what would you suggest people to plan as far as the dress code?
Comfortable. I mean, just wear what's comfortable shoes. It's Santa Barbara. Like, you can come in your Birkenstocks or you can come in your Sunday best. It'll be fine. Whatever you feel comfortable coming to the conference and is perfectly acceptable.
And our comfortable shoes is the biggest thing. The Santa Barbara campus is quite big. And not compared to some of the others that are out there, but it is a bigger campus, and it is hilly, and it is very bike friendly. So you have to watch out for the bicyclists. They are not watching out for you. You must watch out for them.
Yes, exactly. And I would say also bring layers, because it does get cooler at night. Like I said, you're right on the ocean. There will be breezes. So during the day, you may be perfectly comfortable, but at night, like when we're outside for the fiesta, you might want a jacket. So,
and there's air conditioning in a lot of the buildings. So,
so I have a question. For if you purchase the meal plan, is that in the cafeteria?
Yes.
Same as I would assume 3 years ago, right? So that distance.
Yes, I don't know which commons we could be using a different commons, but yes, it's more of a meal plan. I mean, it's more of a cafeteria, but it's an amazing cafeteria. I mean, I always found wonderful options and variety. So yeah, let's see. There was another question here in the chat.
Do we know if we're in DLG or Carrillo or both?
I don't know the answer, Missy. Maybe Susan does or Allison does. Okay, so the other question was about parking, and is it available, and does UCSB charge for parking? So Allison has posted in the chat all the information about parking. There's a lot to read there. If you need to take some time to read it, maybe just copy it all and paste it, or grab the link and paste it somewhere else, because you won't be able to get back to this.
Yeah, it's on the website under lodging and parking. That's wakubo.org. And if you navigate to the 2026 Business Management Institute submenu items, there are some additional information on some of these topics. Regarding the room assignments, Allison, are you aware what buildings we're in?
I know we are, of course, in USEN for our electives. That's the University Center. And then we are still determining a few of our additional rooms, and we'll confirm that in the know before you go.
Yeah, so be on the lookout for some emails in the next week. If you're in track 2, you'll probably get some from Yolanda here pretty soon about the case study and getting those materials turned in. I'll send out an email to track 1 later this week to just welcome everyone There'll be emails from Susan and Wakubo Central with some know before you go tips. So just keep an eye open for those. Sometimes they go to our spam because it's not somebody from your university. So just know they're coming, watch for them. There's lots of great information in there. And as I said before, if you've got a question, I've posted my email in here a couple of times. Yolanda's posted her email. Grab those email addresses. Feel free to email us. There's no question that's too small to ask.
And what's
You can also reach out to office@wakubo.org. That email is posted on the website. And if it's something for either Joyce or one of your track leaders, I'd be happy to pass it along as well. And for the Know Before You Go, I'll post that also on the BMI webpage. That'll be starting the last week in July. That's when that email is going to go out. But sometimes, as Joyce said, these emails do end up in people's spam. So you can always check for that information on the website.
And then I think somebody else was asking a question.
Your first name. I think it's Joyce.
Joyce. I'm sorry.
As J2. Okay.
I will put it in the chat. I should have fixed my
I'm sorry.
name here. I apologize.
Okay.
We had a question in our breakout group. How many attendees do we have?
We presently have, I was looking at that this morning.
I think it was close to 100, about 90 plus or so.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah.
Are there any family friendly events such as like the Sunday dinner, anything like that?
Sure. So the opening reception really is more of a professional development work feel. But if you do want to bring a guest, you are welcome to, and you would just go to our site, and then you can purchase guest tickets to that. The other events that we host are, again, really more for the colleagues within the conference, but Isla Vista, I'm saying that right, correct, Melissa, has a lot of really great restaurants to take your family. The beach is a 3-minute walk from campus. It's really beautiful and a great place to if you're bringing your family.
Thank you.
Yeah.
But that's not the official start of the conference, right? That's Sunday night.
Yes, that's Sunday night, correct.
Yeah, on Sunday night we'll be celebrating the 70th anniversary of Wakubo.
Let me see, because I may miss that one. So let me see. Due to travel plans, so I'll try to make it there.
Oh, great.
Yeah, if you can, that's great. If you miss Sunday night, it's not the end of the world. It's fine. But yeah, it'll be a nice event. And like I said, that's where we'll be celebrating our 70th birthday. Other questions or last minute comments? Do want to make sure we end on time and all right. Well, thank you. We are so glad you're signed up, and I am looking forward to seeing all of you in 3D in 2.5 weeks. We'll see you soon. Take care. Have a great rest of